Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Divine Traveler, the tale behind the stone walls. In this episode number 7, I would be covering days 21 to days 25 of our journey. During these 5 days, we traveled in and around the places of Kakinada and ultimately reached Yanam. We covered the famous Coringa Wildlife near Kakinada. We covered the ancient temple of Bhavanarayana Swami in Kakinada, the temple of Chalukya Kumaram Bhimarama at Samalkota, and then we would be covering the temple of Draksharamam, which is a very famous temple. After that, we would be moving towards Yanam and covering few temples near in and around Yanam, along with the mangrove forest in Yanam. Yanam is a just for all of your information, Yanam is one of the 4 Pondicherries in India, which is situated in Andhra Pradesh, in border with Andhra Pradesh. Not many people know that there are 4 Pondicherries in India. Yanam is a very beautiful small union territory, and one can easily visit from a tourist point of view, just like the other Pondicherries. And the Yanam Bund Road, along with the Yanam river view point on the banks of Godavari and Gautami river, is just mind blowing. It's a very beautiful city. It's a very beautiful view to. It's a very beautiful time that one can spend on the banks of the river and travel around the city. Apart from that, the way to drive towards Yanam from Kakinada is also a very beautiful view one can have while driving towards on the banks of Godavari Gautami river. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I would be dividing this episode into multiple parts to make it convenient for my viewers to view the episode. Day 21, and we covered the Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary in Kakinada. Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary is a very big sanctuary, but only a part of it is available for the tourists. The road towards the sanctuary is very good. We would be covering that. I would be covering that, and after covering the sanctuary, we came back to the hotel. Day 22, and on this particular day, we had multiple destinations to cover from Kakinada and back to Kakinada. The first one is the famous Bhavanarayana Swami temple in Kakinada itself, which is around 35 kilometers from Kakinada city. The next destination is the Chalukya Kumaram Bhimarama temple at Samalkota. This is one of the very important destinations from a temple point of view. It's an ancient temple, and the temple has great importance. I would be discussing about the temple while we go through the video and photographs. After that, we move to the city of Bikabulu, and we cover the temples of Golingeshwara and other stone temples present in and around in Bikabulu. Well, let's talk about the routes that we followed for the next 5 days. Day 21, and we started from our hotel at Hotel Lotus Park in Kakinada. We visited Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary, which is around 10 kilometers drive, and we were after covering the wildlife sanctuary, we were back to Kakinada at our hotel. While in Kakinada, there are many other places which one can visit. There is Hope Island, and there is also Tale of Hope, which we tried to visit, but the flood was because of the recent cyclone. There was flood everywhere, and tourist spots were closed out. It was a sort of a setback for us. So I would request, if in case you are in this part of the of the country, do try to visit these places, because I have heard these are very beautiful places. Day 22, we started from our hotel at Hotel Lotus Park in Kakinada. We first visited Sri Bhavanarayana Swami temple at Sarpavaram, which is around 30 kilometers. After that, we visited Sri Chalukya Kumarama Bhimeshwara temple in Samalkota. From there, we went to Bikavalu to visit the temples of Bikavalu. And after covering the temples of Bikavalu, we were back to our Hotel Lotus Park in Kakinada. Day 23, and we again started from our hotel Lotus Park in Kakinada. Our first destination was Manikamba Devi Temple in Draksharamam. From Draksharamam, we went to our next destination of stay, which was Hotel Yanam Residency in Hotel Yanam Regency in Yanam. We were to stay in Yanam for 2 or 3 nights and visit the places nearby. Day 24, we started from Regency Hotel in Yanam. From there, we first visited Kotipalli Someshwara Temple. Our second destination was Puducherry Mangrove Forest, and after covering that, we visited Sri Vireshwara Swami Vari Temple at Muramalla. After covering that, we went back to our hotel Regency in Yanam. Day 25, and we started from Yanam Regency Hotel. We first visited Sri Vigneshwara Swami Temple at Anavalli. Uh, our next destination was reaching the beach road for covering Odalavedu beach, but unfortunately there was flood, so we could not reach the beach easily. We had to walk through. And after covering the beach, we came back to Amalapuram, where we were to stay in Royal Palace Hotel for the night. Kakinada. Kakinada is nicknamed as the pensioner's paradise because it is known for its well-planned layout and modern infrastructure. When we reached Kakinada, it came as a surprise that it is such a big city. Till now, we had only heard about the city, but it is one of the most modern cities with modern infrastructures all around. Near around Kakinada, there are a lot of places to visit like Hope Island, Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary, Kakinada Beach. But because of cyclone, we could not visit the beaches and the Hope Island. We did visit the Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary. Our destination of the day, Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary. Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary is an estuary which is situated in Kakinada, near Kakinada, around 8 kilometers from the city in the state of Andhra Pradesh. It is a large stretch of mangrove forests with 24 mangrove tree species and around more than 120 bird species. The sanctuary is part of the Godavari estuary and has an extensive mangrove and dry deciduous tropical forest. About half of the area is the backwater, which includes a sandpit of 18-kilometer length. The rivers Koringa and Gareru and their deltaic branches intersect the region. Along with other water channels, this forms about 335.7 square kilometer of marsh vegetation. However, the part of the entire wildlife sanctuary open for tourism is very small, and it is, as I mentioned, around 8 to 10 kilometers from the city. There is a very beautiful parking arrangement of cars there, after which you have to walk through the um, uh, you have to walk for around a kilometer through the beautiful marshland on both sides, and ultimately you reach the boating point where the boats or the ferries which are available take you to the point where the estuary empties itself in Bay of Bengal. See, if you are in this part of this, if you are in this part of the country, do visit this place because this is worth visiting. Day 21 and our first destination of the day, Bhavanarayana Temple, Sarpavaram. Bhavanarayana Temple at Sarpavaram is one of the five Pancha Bhavanarayana Kshetras. Apart from this, the other Pancha Bhavanarayana Kshetras are Ponnur, Bapatla, Bhavadirapalli, and Pattisima, which I would be covering in my future videos when I take up the days in which I covered these areas. The Bhavanarayana Kshetra at Sarpavaram is situated around 500 kilometers from Kakinada city. The legend about the place is narrated in Brahma Vivarta Purana, and the narration was done by the great saint Agatsya to Sonaka and other saints in Nimisha forest. Now it is said that the temple is around 500 years old and is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. However, the inscriptions that are found on the pillars of the temple belong to Chalukyan kings, Tamil king Kotulunga and Katyavama Reddy of Reddy kingdom. which predict that the temple in reality is much older and the current structure of the temple is relatively new. The maintenance of the temple is bit of an issue, with many temple pillars in quite bad conditions and need immediate maintenance. The temple is an ancient Vaishnavite temple and depicts a perfect and harmonious blend of both Chalukyan and Chola architectures, and supposedly between 7th and 12th century AD. This is one of the temples which represents both northern and southern style of architecture. The Chalukyas used red natural stone and khod for engraving beautiful images on pillars. Sri Bhavanarayana temple is one of the noted 108 Vaishnava temples also. Talking about the architecture, as I mentioned, this is a mix of North and South Indian architecture, and it's a typical architecture of Chalukyan dynasty with the rock cut method architecture being employed. Now, this rock cut method architecture was slowly superseded using red stone masonry. Building of Stamba, Mandapa, Navaranga, and Sukansi along with Garbhagriha was a unique contribution of the Chalukyas over time. The main Gopura is facing east, is a solid huge structure built partly with stone and partly with brick. The entire Gopura contains Gopika, Apsaras, and avatars in rows. Inside the temple, every pillar is covered with beautiful and delicately delineated pieces of artistic sculptures, particularly the Dwarapalikas, Jaya and Vijaya. The officials said that the evidences say that the ancient temple was repaired and rebuilt through successive ages by many kings. So this is the end of the part 1 of episode number 7. Keep watching the remaining parts of this episode as I am going to cover a lot of places here. Thanks a lot for watching the video.